Thanks for seeing us out. I never would have guessed you were friends with Princess Alpin of all people. I wish I knew how much of what she said was genuine. Hey, Elise. Thank you for taking the time to come here today. Take care on your way back to your lodgings. We will, thank you. Thanks for showing us around. Good night. Good night, everyone. What? Don't worry. I can kind of understand where she's coming from. I doubt anyone could have guessed that Her Highness would extend such a bold invitation to you. I'm not sure how that's my fault. Yes, I almost forgot. Reen, I have a small favor I'd like to ask of you. Of me? Your Highness? Oh, you're going to ask him? But of course. You see, tomorrow I'll be attending a garden party sponsored by the local government for the start of the festival. Or rather, Machia's father invited me to attend. Yes, I seem to recall hearing that myself. That's the one at the Crystal Garden in Mater Park, right? Indeed. Anyway, let's not waltz around the matter. I was rather hoping that you would join me as my dance partner, Reen. Does that mean... Do you think Her Highness knows that old saying, a dance today, a wedding tomorrow? I'm sure that's fully in the realm of tabloid speculation. Still, there's no denying that many will interpret it that way. Whoa, hold on a minute. I don't think I can. I mean, it would be an honor, but it's like too great of an honor for someone like me. Oh, not at all. Your father may be a baron, but the Schwarzers have long had deep ties with the Imperial family. I apologize if this comes across as rude, but inviting you would likely create less opposition than if I were to invite Eustace. I see. Well, I can't deny that. You needn't apologize. I find your choice rather fascinating, actually. Eustace, you're not helping. Anyway, I really don't think I'm the man you want. Sometimes I can barely keep from tripping over my own feet. Is that so? Elise once told me that she asked you to help her practice the finer points of ballroom dancing. In fact, she says you're an excellent dancer, that you step lightly and very gracefully. Is that not true, Reen? Well... I understand. It was rude of me to trouble you with a petition like this on such short notice. And besides, I don't suppose you would have much interest in dancing with a little girl like me. No, that's not what I meant, Your Highness. That's my sister, all right. She really knows how to twist the knife. Your Highness, please. You too, Prince Oliver. Looks like they're having fun. I had no idea the Imperial family was such a lively and cheerful bunch. I get the feeling they aren't all like this. I see now. How could it not have crossed my mind? Perhaps the truth is that you already have your heart set on someone else? Or is there someone you're already courting? Well, do you? I'm positively dying to know which maiden has conquered the battlefield of your heart. Wait, I mean... Yikes, how am I going to get out of this one? I'm not sure how to turn her down gently. Hee. Very well, I shall relent this time. Huh? However, next year I'll be 16, just like your sister. That's when I'll be making my debut into high society, so I'd be very happy if you'd give my invitation some thought. Well, aren't you the lucky one? Her Highness really seems to have taken a liking to you. You really ought to have accepted her invitation. It might have led to something truly unexpected in the future. Nah, I doubt it. It seemed like she just took an interest in me because I'm her friend's brother. She didn't seem all that serious about it, so I figured she was just trying to tease the two of us. Can't deny it seemed that way. But I got the impression that wasn't all that was going on there. You weren't the only one feeling nervous that whole time. Prince Oliver was an even more unusual person than I'd heard. Haha, no doubt about that. He seemed entertaining to be around. To think that he's the one who made Class 7 possible. He seemed easygoing, but hearing him talk about our class made what we're doing feel even more important. And besides, he gave us plenty of other useful info. Yeah, including the fact that the board of directors seems to have their own agenda for us. I have no idea what they're planning, but their motives seem incredibly suspicious. Agreed. Hearing about the instructor's background kind of threw me for a loop too. I wouldn't have imagined she used to be a bracer, maybe because you don't really see them around anymore to begin with. A rank is more or less the highest you can be too. I assume you already knew about her history fee? Yep, the guild is every Jaeger Corps' main competition after all. Probably even ran into her a few times during our operations. Really? Unbelievable. I had almost forgotten about those good old days. Instructor? How long have you been there? So, looks like you finally found out about my work history, huh? I guess that kind of tarnishes my ravishing adult charm a bit then. I hate to break it to you, but you didn't have any to begin with. Shh, did you hear an old maiden sighing? What was that? Good evening, everyone. Captain Claire? This is quite the unusual combination. Let me be the first to assure you that this wasn't my idea. But the governor's asked me to tell you that tomorrow's field study is being put on hold. Instead, you get the exciting opportunity to help this lady and her goons with their evil schemes. Huh? What evil schemes? Sarah, could you maybe not try to put them off entirely before I've even had a chance to explain? Actually, there's a matter I'd like all of you to help us with. I've discussed this with the governor, and he decided that this would be the best way to handle the issue. Now, if you'd be so kind as to get on board, I'll explain everything to you at the command post in Heimdall Central Station. Terrorists. Indeed, I'm afraid we have no choice but to define them as such. Unfortunately, we have no clue as to their aim, nor do we know the names of their group members, its size, or its history. At present, it doesn't even seem that the terrorist group has established a name for itself. That's a lot of unknowns. Would I be correct in assuming the man we met in the Nord Highlands who was trying to start a war is a member? Ah. So he's one of them then? He said his name was Gideon or G or something like that. So that's what that man you encountered in the Highlands was up to. He does sound like the terrorist type. And you think he and this group are going to try something tomorrow on the first day of the summer festival? We're currently operating under that assumption, yes. The summer festival lasts 3 days, but unlike festivals in other provinces, only the first day garners much attention. It's been a month since the incident in Nord. If they intend to make their next move soon, tomorrow is the likely time. I'd have to agree. Terrorists do love their time in the spotlight after all. And considering how easily Gideon gave you his name, I'm betting we'll start to see them acting more openly soon. First, you gather arms and other like-minded allies in secret. Then you reveal yourself with a bang and keep going in quick succession. That's a typical terrorist MO. I see. And do you want us to assist with countermeasures against them? Right. The RMP will be joining forces with the Heimdall military police to bolster the capital's security. Unfortunately, as big as the capital is, I can't say with complete confidence that there'll be no holes in our security. That's where you come in. You'll be assisting our security measures as a reserve force. Bah! It'd sure be nice if the guild was still active here. They would have come in mighty handy right about now. Yes, I don't disagree. Sarah, you do know that the RMP had no involvement in the guild's withdrawal from the capital, right? Oh, really? I mean, your boss and that brother of yours could hardly take their opposition to the guild more obvious if they tried. Well, wow, these two really seem to have a messy history between them. It sure seems that way, especially where the guild is concerned. Although, it sounds like your brother has been keeping busy in Crossbell recently. So, what's it gonna be? Whether you choose this as your field study task for tomorrow is totally up to you. If you decline, there are plenty of tasks the governor needs taken care of, like you've been doing the last 2 days. The summer festival is a busy time after all, lots of little details that need to be squared away. I think I speak for Group A when I say we'd be glad to join in with the anti-terrorist countermeasures. Group B feels the same way. Alright then. Thank you for your assistance, everyone. Now, let's move right along to confirming the patrol routes you'll be following. Wow, this place sure brings back memories. Up until about a year and a half ago, I'd swing by here at least once a week. Really? I wouldn't be surprised if I'd seen you around here before then. Well, I did end up getting to know your sister. Fiona, right? Works as a piano teacher? Seriously? Wait, she did say she knew someone who worked at the guild. I guess she was talking about the instructor? Still, instructor. What is it that caused the guild to withdraw from the capital? I've been wondering that for a while now myself. The guild used to be pretty active here in Erebonia, right? Well, yeah. The direct cause was guild branches all over the country being blown up, but I'm sure you already know that. The culprits were a Jaeger corps hired by a nasty bunch the guild was at odds with at the time. Well, still is, but anyway. Thanks to a dependable ally, we were able to defeat the Jaegers. but by then, the Imperial government had its eye on us. They started making life difficult for us, took away most of the guild's authority in the country, leaving our hands tied. Eventually, the branches here started closing, one by one, with no real prospect of ever reopening. So that's how it was. Instructor. Don't worry, your dad might be the city's governor, but he wasn't really involved. A certain friend of his, however, was very involved. You're talking about Chancellor Gildeth Osborne, representative of the Imperial government, I assume? Yep, him and his cronies in the Imperial Intelligence Division. It's kind of like a sister organization to the Railway Military Police. Anyway, after that, I was out of a job. That's when Principal Van Dyke came and offered me a position at the academy. I started as a combat instructor last spring, and after that, I wound up being chosen as your class homeroom teacher. I still help out the guild from time to time, though. That's how I ended up bringing in our Jaeger princess here. Knock it off. So that's what happened. You mentioned that a Jaeger corps was responsible for the attack. What was its name? Oh, it wasn't the same group B used to run with. They were called Jester, not a particularly high-ranking outfit. I see. Worried about me? Well, I did suspect that it was likely a different corps. From the sound of it, the Jaeger corps B belonged to was a pretty large one, though. Oh, definitely. She was with Zephyr. Their leader was this insidious guy known as the Jaeger King. You name a combat specialty, Zephyr had it covered. They were the only corps on par with the Red Constellation, which has its roots in the Berserkers of the Middle Ages. They caused me plenty of trouble back when I was still a full-time bracer. Look who's talking, you caused us plenty of trouble yourself. It's hard to believe this all happened to people we actually know. Yeah, it sounds more like a story out of some novel. Anyway, the terrorists you've been hearing about lately aren't part of any Jaeger Corps. I figured that was the case. Generally, Jaegers are interested in just two things, money and fighting. That Gideon guy you encountered in Nord Highlands doesn't seem to fit that description, though. If I had to guess, I'd say he's acting on some kind of deep-seated grudge. A grudge, huh? Well, it's hard to say anything for sure. I never met him myself. From what I understand, he did seem particularly tenacious. He was definitely that, which means we're going to have to step it up for our patrol tomorrow. Your involvement is just a precautionary step, but if you're going to help, give it your best, I say. Seems like your teamwork is smoother than ever, too, so all the better. Anyway, it's late, so get your report written and get some sleep. I'm gonna crash in one of the empty rooms upstairs. Ah. The instructor never changes, does she? You sure? She seemed more talkative than usual. Feels like she was pushing herself. Now that you mention it, she did seem far more forthcoming with information than usual. Maybe she's feeling a bit weird being back in her old workplace? You might be right. Still, I guess we're not really in any position to be worrying about her. We'll just have to go do our best to coordinate with Group B tomorrow to make sure everything goes smoothly. Agreed. Alright, the sooner we get that report written, the sooner we can get some sleep. That night, I thought I heard something outside. Maybe I should check it out. It sounded like footsteps. Did someone go downstairs? Oh. Instructor Sarah? Oh, did I wake you? I just thought I heard something, so I came to see what it was. Can't sleep? Nah, just feeling a little nostalgic being back here, I guess. Years ago, someone suggested that I become a bracer, and that's what I did. I spent my days working with a bunch of odd friends and companions, going through request after request. It seems weird now, how busy I used to be back then. It does sound like work kept you on your toes. Still, this building must mean a lot to you, huh? Yeah, it does. I'd be lying if I said I didn't wish I could go back to those days sometimes. It was definitely exhausting, but I guess it was usually having... It was definitely exhausting, but I guess I was usually having too much fun to notice. More than anything, I really felt like I belonged there. Oh. Don't get me wrong though, I really enjoy my work now too. You do? How could I not? I ended up becoming your class instructor. As far as I'm concerned, life's just as fulfilling now as it was back then. No need for you to get all soft and start worrying about me. Alright. But I'll keep doing whatever I can. So you'll always feel like you belong here with Class 7. Thanks. Look at us, up in the middle of the night talking away like a couple of barflies. If we had a bottle or two here, I would have loved to drink until dawn with you, but we're all out. Tragic. You do know I'm too young to drink, right? Well, we should probably get back to our rooms and get some sleep. Tomorrow's going to be another action-packed day, so we'll need all the rest we can get. Too true. We'll be counting on you again tomorrow, Instructor. You're going to need my tender mercies, too. You've got some hard work coming your way, so you better get a good night's sleep.
Drinks are on me someday.
The time is finally at hand. At last, the hammer of judgment shall rouse this indolent capital from its slumber.
Yeah!
Comrade G, all of the necessary preparations are complete.
But it feels like you have so few men accompanying you.
Wouldn't it be wise to call in a few others for backup?
There's nothing to fear. As long as I have this flute, not even the railway military police stand a chance of stopping us. Tomorrow, the people of this land will at last know our name. My dear comrades, I shall be counting on you all